It is 3 a.m. I was standing in my kitchen, eating cold pizza straight from the box, while simultaneously thinking, why do I feel like a garbage truck ran over my soul? Spoiler alert, it wasn't just the pizza. Well, let's just call me Recovery Rob, because apparently that's my brand now. And if you're here, chances are you've also discovered that your body has been staging a full-scale revolt against years of, let's call it, creative substance experimentation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another person telling me to eat kale and find Jesus. But hold up. I'm not here to shame you into a juice cleanse or convince you that meditation will solve everything. Though, plot twist, there might be something to that meditation thing. More on that later. Here's the thing nobody tells you about recovery. Your body is basically a crime scene. And I don't mean that dramatically. I mean literally. Every organ is like a witness pointing fingers, going, he did it. He's the one who made US process all that nonsense. Your liver is over there working overtime like an underpaid intern. Your gut bacteria have basically gone on strike. And your brain chemistry? Oh, honey, that's more scrambled than a Sunday morning breakfast after a 3-day bender. But here's where it gets interesting. And I mean actually interesting. Not watching paint dry interesting. Turns out, food isn't just fuel. It's basically medicine that doesn't require a prescription or a judgmental pharmacist. I learned this the hard way when I discovered that my breakfast of champions, which was usually leftover Chinese takeout, and whatever was in arm's reach, was about as helpful as bringing a water gun to a wildfire. The blood sugar roller coaster. See, when you're in active addiction, your blood sugar is basically riding a roller coaster designed by someone who clearly has issues with humanity. Up, down, up, down. And every time it crashes, your brain starts screaming, give me something to make this stop. And guess what that something usually was? Yeah, exactly what got us into this mess in the first place. So step 1 in my accidental journey to not feeling like hot garbage, eating actual food at actual times. Revolutionary, I know. Now, let's talk about neurotransmitters. Those little chemical messengers in your brain that are basically the cast of the world's most dramatic soap opera. There's dopamine, who's supposed to make you feel good about life, but has been on vacation since 2019. There's serotonin, who handles your mood but has been phoning it in lately. And don't even get me started on GABA, who's supposed to keep you calm but apparently called in sick permanently. The good news? You can actually help these drama queens get their act together through food. Who knew that eggs weren't just for hangovers? Turns out they contain tyrosine, which is like sending dopamine a strongly worded memo to get back to work. And then there's your gut. Oh, your poor, traumatized gut. If your digestive system could talk, it would probably file a restraining order against you. But here's the plot twist. Your gut and your brain are basically texting each other 24/7. It's called the gut-brain axis, and it's either sending messages like, hey, we're good down here, keep up the great work, or mayday, mayday, everything is on fire. Guess which messages I was getting? So beyond the food revelation, I discovered something else that absolutely nobody mentions in those just say no campaigns. Apparently, you need to actually do stuff with your body. That isn't just reaching for the remote. Exercise, they said. It'll be fun, they said. It'll give you endorphins, they said. They were right, but they left out the part where you feel like you're dying for the first 3 weeks. But hey, at least it's a different kind of dying than before, right? And sleep. Oh, bless sleep. Turns out when you actually go to bed at a reasonable hour instead of staying up until 4 a.m. having deep conversations with yourself in the mirror. Your body does this amazing thing called recovery. Who would have thought? But getting to that point, it's like training a feral cat to use a litter box. Possible, but requires patience and possibly some treats. Now, about that meditation thing I mentioned earlier. I used to think mindfulness was just something hipsters did to feel superior at coffee shops. Turns out, it's actually about learning to sit with your thoughts without immediately wanting to make them go away with, well, you know. It's like becoming friends with the annoying neighbor in your head instead of constantly trying to evict them. But here's the real kicker, and this is where it gets less funny and more real for a minute. You can't do this alone. I know, we're all independent adults who don't need anybody. Except we totally do. Whether it's support groups, therapy, or just having that one friend who will listen to you complain about how badly you want to eat an entire sleeve of cookies at 2 p.m. Having people in your corner isn't just nice. It's essential. So what does this all look like in practice? Well, my mornings now start with water that doesn't have anything floating in it, some actual breakfast that doesn't come from a vending machine, and maybe some stretching that doesn't involve reaching for the snooze button. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Did I eat ice cream for dinner last Tuesday? Maybe. But am I feeling more human and less like a walking disaster? Definitely. Look, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that quinoa salads and morning jogs are going to fix everything. Recovery isn't a Pinterest board. It's messy. It's complicated. And some days you're going to want to throw in the towel and order a pizza. But here's what I've learned. Your body is incredibly forgiving, ridiculously resilient, and surprisingly willing to work with you once you stop actively working against it. And that journey from feeling like a garbage truck ran over your soul to actually wanting to be awake and participating in your own life. It's worth every weird smoothie, every awkward therapy session, and every morning you wake up and think, hey, I don't feel terrible today. So if you're standing in your kitchen at 3 a.m. wondering why everything feels broken, you're not alone. It's not permanent. And yes, there's actually something you can do about it. And it starts with putting down the cold pizza and picking up, well, maybe some eggs. Your dopamine will thank you. Asterisk, remember, this journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. One meal, one day, one choice at a time. Thank you for trying again today.